Hello, mi amores. Welcome to this segment of Know Your Truth Real Talk with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge. How you all doing this Saturday? Hope all is well. I have an event, so I'm uploading this tape today, hoping that you like it. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to have a series, I think 3 series of this that I'm putting out today. The title is The Games People Play. This one's on dating, series 1. I want to surprise you with the next series. If you like this, come back and check me next Saturday for series 2. In the meantime, I'm thankful and grateful for all of you that subscribe, like, and share my last show that I went live. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm hoping you're having a great week or had a great week and having a great weekend. And with that being said, thank you IAAH Radio for simulcasting me on the same time, Saturdays at 3 as YouTube. Go check them out. If you can't see me, you can hear me. Either way, get that message out. I'm here to empower, help those in need of help in relationships and life, and assisting them with experiences that I've had in law, being in that workforce as it is. I try to give out all the information I can to help those in need of it. Reach out to me if you need help with something that I can help you with. I will try my best to do so. Check me out on my description box, my email, whatever it is that you need to contact me that I have available here. You can do so. You're free to do so because I love helping others out. I've always had, and this is why I created this channel. And with that being said, I'm going to have some of my coffee. This is the earliest taping I'm doing because I'm on a rush because I'm going to be out and about. And I'll post, most of my out and abouts have not been posted. So I'm sorry about that. But they will be within the week. I have just been so busy with work and everything that I haven't been able to. So let's get on what this subject is and topic is about today's show on Know Your Truth Real Talk. The title of The Games People Play on Dating. I'm doing it on dating this week, but the whole series is The Games People Play. And then there will be a topic after that. But if you want to know, then you got to come check it out next week and the week after, because it's going to be 3 series. And after that, I have other content that's going to be actually exciting back to back as well. So if you like I said, if you do like it, come back and hear me on IAH Radio next week and see me on YouTube as well at 3 o'clock every Saturday, okay? And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. All right, on this session of Know Your Truth Real Talk, when someone is overly too nice, be careful of that in dating, basically, and buys too much gifts all the time. Sometimes it may feel like that person is really cares about you, but they need to do this as a method of sometimes to test, protect, influence, and reel a person in. So you have to be really careful when you're dating in a relationship early in the relationship, I should say. These are the most common tactics used. All right. So yes, we all like nice things, right? But you don't have to be bought. And most people won't buy. They'll look for you to do it. The same, you don't have to do it to anyone either. Get to know that person first in the early part of a relationship rather than pushing yourself too much. If a person likes you, they're going to like you, because we're not talking about love yet, because you can't possibly love someone the first time you meet them unless it's love at first sight, and most likely it isn't. Today they play that game, and it might just be. You don't know. However, that is one of the tactics game playing done here on this realm in the earth. We sometimes have encountered people that like to play games, which I call players. That's the term here, but this I'm making my own term of game playing. This is when a person's sole intention is to play the game to get what they want. Common game playing to look for is these things that I'm going to mention now. I have about, let's see, a list of, in this segment, for now, for what I'm going to explain to you are how people play games and what you need to look at. I'm going to start with 1. I have 1 through 9 or 1 through 10. So I'm going to start with 1, playing hard to get. Watch those that play hard to get. That's a strategy used to reel you in, and your resources, usually by acting uninterested and less available than they really are. So they appear desirable to you. Don't fall for it, okay? That is one of the games. The second one is, and that is called playing hard to get. That's the first one. Watch out for that. And the second one is called the waiting game. This is another game played by players, all right? They have you deliberately waiting for their texts and calls. Um, Basically, this is done to avoid looking too eager when you know they are. But that's another game. I'm going to make them wait and let them call or text me first. This is things that players do. Eventually, when you don't call them back or anything, they'll be getting back at you, of course. But don't push yourselves to watch the game being played first and see if it is a game, because every relationship is not a game. But in today's time and ages, unfortunately, we got a lot of players out here, game players. People come wasting your time and your resources. The power play is the next one. The power play. When a person tries to control another in a relationship, that's something else. Yeah. Either moving slowly or too fast in a relationship, deciding when to meet, when they shouldn't meet, as a way to have control or hold on more and more power in the relationship is another way that they do it. It's called power play. So when you power play, those are the people that like to call the shots. Now, it's not bad being aggressive and letting someone know you care, but overly is too much. You shouldn't want to control people's lives like that. Number 4 is testing jealousy. A lot of people like to test jealousy by mentioning other people who are interested in them to see the reaction that they'll get. That is no good either. Why would you want to play a game like that unless your self-esteem is low? These are the game players, the players of Maniliators. I forgot the name, the player from forget it. Since I don't play games, I don't really know, but I've seen them being played on people, and I have actually um, was being played before in my lifetime, and that's how you learn. Everyone gets a shot of a player. I had one years ago, and I knew when to cut that off, and I sure did. And it was a great thing that I did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't meet my husband. So it's a good thing, because I don't like being played or having games played on me, and I'm sure you don't. So this is why I brought this together, this segment, this content, because I think it's important that we all be real and act like, well, I would never be played. You've been played before you've been played. You have to admit it to yourself, if not to the world. Because if you can't admit it to yourself, then what good are you? And sometimes the player gets played. I like that part, because when you try to play other people and then you get played, it's a win-win for me. I mean, it's not about doing bad to people, but those that play games, and when the game's played on you, now what do? You sulk, you cry, you sit back, and you wish. Wish I could have, should have done it differently, but it's too late. And that's how we all learn lessons here on earth. So getting back to that story, testing jealousy is really important. When someone does that, they want to get a reaction out of you to see if you're interested. When they mention other people, know that as a red flag, please. Number 6 is breadcrumbing. A lot of people do this, giving the right amount of attention by being flirtatious, sending flirty messages with the occasional check-ins to keep that person interested without real commitment. That's another one. A lot of people come in here and they don't want a commitment, so they breadcrumb you with whatever they can. They'll breadcrumb you through your finances, if you're gullible enough, through their words, making up illusions that's never going to happen, in the end, there's no commitment anyway. That's type of like description of breadcrumbing. Like I just said, they come in with messages, occasionally check-ins, and to keep that person interested. Okay, that's breadcrumbing, but never looking for a real commitment. That's they're looking for a relationship but no commitment. There's a lot of them out there like that as well. And we're going to number 6, matching and mirroring. This is important. By copying the other's behavior, someone's behavior, likes and dislikes is how you can get someone to mirror into you in a relationship or a start early part of the relationship. How you find out is by seeing how they act towards you. And they always copy others' behaviors, likes and dislikes. Even when they look for a partner, they'll look to see what type of partner you were with and try to mirror that person if that person was what you were interested in before, but it didn't work out. Yeah, they'll become any person that you want them to become, but never their real selves, which is really important to check out because something's wrong with you if you can't be yourself in a relationship. If people came together as themselves and let people choose if they want to be with them or not, it'll be a beautiful world. But no, we got game players, little boys, little girls that haven't grown up and still play games with toys and dolls. Those are the type of relationships you don't want to have out here. Let the girls play with the boys and the boys play with the girls. Real women and real men don't have time for childish games. Life is too short here to be playing games on people in the first place. Who does that? It's disgusting. You see it in the news. They end up all this domestic violence is being done because of game playing and choosing partners that you had the red flag with that play games later, and God forbid you have children with them. Now you got to deal with them for the rest of your life. So be careful who you have children with as well, because oof, man, I've seen it out here. It's not a pretty game, but yeah, because then you're stuck to that person. Forget the children. We love our children, but you're going to be dealing with that game player for the rest of your life. So make sure that your relationship is never a commitment with a game player, is what I wanted to say. And as we move forward in that mirroring, careful of those type of signs that you get or gut feelings. And status and ego signals is another one. I've done some research on most of these things and I put it together from experiences of watching others I know and myself and my experiences. And like I said, work experiences, everything comes together in my content so that I can provide you with the best realism that I can in these situations so that you would avoid getting into them yourselves. We all are going to get into one another because we're not perfect unless we stay single forever with no one. Some people like that. That's good. Good for you. I was single for a while. It's not anything bad about it, but it's good to be loved and cared about too, and not playing games with little boys and little girls. So with that being said, the status ego signal is dropping hints. That's when that person drops hints about their success, their popularity, their money, anything to appear more attractive to draw you in. Like I said, these are the tactics that they play to reel you in like the big fish. So don't allow those tactics to over distract you. Remember to look for these signs. And number 8 is the hot and cold. And this is showing lots of attention and affection, like saying, I love you, blah, 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 crying, oh, I love you, and stuff like that at one moment. Then withdrawing to hook the person in emotionally, because that's how they do it. This is just an example, tell you they love you, cry, oh, I really love you, I really love you, oh my God, you're the best thing that ever happened to me, you're the love of my life, to draw you in, to hook that person in emotionally, then to disconnect, so that this way you're like, oh my God, I thought this person really cared about me. You know, that's how it's played. At one moment, they're hooking on to you, and the next moment, they're cold. Be careful, hot and cold people, because that's their intentions. They're not going to be, if they give you reason to be hot and cold, okay. If you've given them reason, okay. But if not, and there's no reason for it, just be careful with that sign right there, because I've seen it happen a lot of times. The other one is the ultimate test. And the ultimate test for them is setting artificial deadlines, such as if you don't commit soon, I'm done, and things like that. Or if there's someone else I have in my relationship that's interested in me, so I don't have to wait for you. Things like that. Those things are the ultimate test, so that they can see if they already reeled you in. They don't really want a commitment. They just want to have you there on the sideline. Those are what players do. Um, Always saying that there's other people interested if you're not, and making suggestions such as if you can't commit, then I'll move forward with someone else that's interested in me. If someone else is interested in you, go be there. Bye. See you, Serenata, because I'm not going to be pushed to commit to someone, okay, when I'm not ready, because the game gets played after that. So you got to be real careful. And why dating, why people play games? Yeah, I'm going to explain why dating, people play games during dating. One is lack of maturity and or clarity. That is one way why people that are dating play games, because they have lack of maturity and or clarity of themselves and who they are. The next would be fear of rejection, because they've been rejected before, and whether it's family rejection, parental rejection, um, rejection from anything or anyone, will put them in that kind of position where they fear of rejection from anyone. And the desire for control is really important here. When someone desires to control what you do and say, or where you go, and what's um, they feel they own you or something, be careful with that. That's why I said in the beginning, when you are bought, too many things are being bought to you with gifts instead of the physical. You're getting material stuff. Be careful, because physical love is different from materialistic stuff, and a lot of people like materialistic, and then they'll accept it. We've seen the shows on all these influencers that got killed after accepting so many gifts. I saw a show the other day like that, this crime TV, and it's sad um, that people like that exist, that will buy you all this stuff and then want to possess you. You're theirs till the end of time without even saying it. Then it can become abusive, but you think that it's love because they want you to themselves. Then you stop seeing other people dating, not just dating, but going to family gatherings. Then you start getting where you can't go out or talk to anyone. Um, they get possessive, and unless there's a real reason for that, I think that's a red flag as well. Another one is testing to see reactions. They do that a lot when they play games. The game players, that's their agenda. So how to avoid dating or getting involved with a game player? My what I meant to say is how to avoid dating and getting involved with a game player. Those are the top two, goes together. Just in case it sounded separate, I'm sorry. I'm trying to rush at the same time, but I'm going to take my time with this. But how to avoid dating a game player is what I should say. And I think I have 10 reasons as to why. And I'm going to start with one, because this is how you avoid getting involved with a game player or dating one. Um, Before you start getting into a commitment, these are the things you should know. Please like, subscribe, and share, so that someone that is going through this process and doesn't know will realize it through these lists that I've just stated here on this show, Know Your Truth, Real Talk, on IAAH Radio and on YouTube. First is pay attention to consistency, all right, because that's really important. Real interest shows up in steady efforts, okay? If their words and acting don't match, then, or like the promises not following up on any of their promises or none of them coming through, that's a real red flag, because then consistency is really important with people. Not having that consistency is somebody that's playing games. They're not really interested. They're not ready for a commitment. If you are, if you're not, you're not. And then you don't have to look at it and just, you all can play games together. Like I said, girls and boys will be girls and boys. When you come to maturity, you're women and men. So going on with that, those that have grown to maturity, these are the signs. Again, I'm going to state them. Do not, if someone has inconsistencies, always telling you they'll text, call, and they don't, and no show up, they don't follow up on what they state they're going to do, usually they're playing you. They don't intend to. They just need to keep you there. Don't excuse any mixed signals at all either, like hot and cold, disappear, reappear. When you see the signs, don't disregard them as maybe they're busy or that's how they are. True. It may be true that that's how they are, but look at it. True and healthy connections don't require constantly questioning each other or guessing each other, right? You can't keep guessing. You either there for the person or you're not. No hot and cold. All right. And then you can always get through it through communication together. Those are real healthy relationships. Unhealthy relationships don't do that. So know the difference. Also, my best thing now, because I always put this in my tapes, I have a few set boundary tapes. That's what you need to do. Set boundaries from the start. All right. Communicate your standards right up front. Definitely be honest. Tell them that you would like honesty, respect, and consistency, because those are the three relevant things that you need to do in a relationship. Like I just said, if you communicate well, that's a beautiful thing, but communication can go two ways. You got honesty and you got liars. Players are usually liars, so be careful of that, them reeling you in with communication, because they're good communicators. They also are good game players, so be very careful of that. This way they know what you are expect out of a relationship by setting these boundaries. I have a few tapes on setting boundaries with family, friends, and marriages. You can go check those videos out. I haven't linked them. I don't have time today, but if you go through, they should be up there. I have a lot of videos, but whichever one soothes the soul, go check that out. All right. Either way, honesty is very important, respect and consistency. This way, they know from the upgrowth that you respect what you respect out of relationship and out of them. Um, this is very important to do with people, because sometimes they'll get out of and step on your toes and out of your boundary areas of boundaries, and I do not play that game. If I say this is this and that's the boundary and you don't like it, then we don't need to be together. They said their boundaries and I don't like it, I don't need to be with you either. So it's an equal give and take. You don't just, it's not to be mean, but if you don't set boundaries in anything in life, people use you as a doormat. Don't forget that. That's why boundaries need to be set. You are nobody's doormat. I will never be, and no one's going to be you're not going to be anyone's doormat either. This is how you prevent people from walking on you. They know what to expect out of the relationship, which gives them the opportunity to make the choice of whether they want to date you or not. A person that wants to play games will either push against these boundaries and eventually disappear, or disappear altogether. So that's how you're going to know a player. If they do not and they push against it saying, well, I'm not going to deal or tolerate that, then you say goodbye, because respect is needed. Now, for instance, I'm going to just say this scenario. When I was dating at one time, I said, I'm not into dating several people at one time. Do you want to make a commitment with me? Yes. Okay. So therefore, when we say that, my boundaries are that it's you and I, right? Well, if it's not you and I gave you the opportunity and you said no, you want it to be you, and it ended up not being that. I mean, this is why you set boundaries. I said, you know what? I don't want to be someone's wallpaper, or welcome mat. So this way you can make the choice whether you want to be in that relationship or not. But people sometimes will lie to you so that you can stay there while they have their while they're there playing games with other people. And this is what we need to avoid, being played on. So make sure you're not, and make your boundaries clear. All right. That's very important. Another one is watch how they communicate. Do they text or call when they want attention? Do they avoid direct conversations about feelings or intentions? This pattern often reveals their true potential. So, priorities, I mean, not potential, their true priorities. Their priorities about them, okay? So, when they communicate, be careful of these instances about direct conversations about feelings or intentions. What their intentions are is really important, because if they can't answer that question, or some of them can, because some of them are real good game players, they'll get it all the way through until they can't lie anymore or get caught up in it. Also look for depth within a person. You know who they are. They're deep, deep within someone's soul. If you really want a commitment, you gotta look within them and not just in how charming they may be. So this look for depth within a person, not just charm. There's a reason for that. A lot of people come in charming. Game players often lead with flattery, status, and mystery instead of being themselves. And you want to make sure you're with someone that are not bringing on the charm, but is actually importantly that you see that they're bringing who they really are to you. Notice how willing they are to talk about um, goals, values, and real life, not just about themselves. This is important as well. Those that talk about themselves a lot, usually it's about them. They're self-centered. You can actually love yourself enough, but when you're in a relationship with someone, it's not always about you anymore. It's about the both of you, 50-50, right? Or am I wrong here? I know if I'm in a relationship, it's not going to be just about me, and it's not going to be just about you. It's going to be about both of us. And you need to know that in the beginning, in the early parts of your relationships, for it to work, because then you'll know if you're with a game player or not. And definitely don't get hooked. Don't get hooked on jealous tests. That's really important. If someone tries to speak jealousy by mentioning other people, things like that, recognize it as manipulation instead, and walk away. Walk away rather than proving your worth through competition. Is way better, because this is what narcissists do as well as manipulators, and they always equal players. Remember that one, right? And so we're at number 7 now of the list of how to avoid dating players and game players. I got all this beautiful nature out here with me. My birds are here. Ah, it's so beautiful. And now the bees. All right, so always check their emotional availability. That's important. Do they avoid or dismiss serious topics? That's really important. Their weaknesses, or keeping things at a surface level. When someone always is on the same level, how great they are, how much they got going on, instead of their weaknesses, vulnerability, serious topics, then be careful, because um, usually emotionally unavailability is often disguised as mystery, or taking things slow. So you got to decipher what that unavailability is if you're in a relationship or want a commitment, and why someone would want to take things slow, which everybody does start off like that. But when you get in conversations with people and they won't talk about their intentions, this goes along with that. That's another pattern there. And then trust patterns over impulses and promises, okay? Patterns are more important. Excuse me. I had a little coffee there, get me going. Anyone can say all the right things, okay? But their patterns don't match, then you got to be careful. Even forgetting what they said at one time to you and gets caught up in their own lies of manipulation while still showing unreliable behavior. This happens all the time where people talk so much. The trust patterns over promises. They promise you one thing, they tell you another thing, and they get caught up in their pattern of lies. Once the lies come out, eventually it's going to come out. Hopefully, not too late for some of you, and you're not committed by then. I know a few people that got out of commitments just in time. Thank you. Thank you, God. We always pray that these people in general, ourselves, never get caught where we are like, don't realize it. I mean, you can't stay blinded to things that's happening right in front of you. Players will continue to play. That's the game. They move on to the next person. So catch them in their game before they play it on you, because it can take a lot of emotional release, stress, and it's not worth it going through all of that, having a broken heart, because maybe you would have felt something for them and then they played and twisted on you and think it's fun. It's not fun. It's stupid. It's childlike. Only kids, little girls, little boys play games. When you want to meet a real man or woman, then you will take these methods and this, if you're single and dating, you'll take these seriously. Go back and start this video over so that you can remember all the signs, or take notes if you need to, but don't let it happen to you. I know. The reason why is because it happened to a lot of people I know, including myself at one time. Like I said, I'm not ashamed. I'm a human being. I mean, who's going to lie? That's egotistical. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stay here and lie. So this is the reason why I come on you to help others as myself, that I wouldn't want to see that happen to you as I've seen it happen to other people and myself. So take that in consideration when you're doing stuff. If you care about yourself, right, then you will definitely want someone that's not a game player in your life, because they can waste all your time while the real person for you is out there waiting for you. Never forget that. There's no rush. I don't care what age you are. Don't rush it. It's never a good thing to rush into that. The right person will come in time and you'll know it. So, like I said, trust their patterns over promises. Never believe their promises again, because most of their promises may just be lies, and eventually the lies will come out. Next, always be willing to walk away. That's very important. The easiest way to avoid game players is by refusing to participate in the game. That's truth. Like, they're walking away from unhealthy dynamics, makes room for others, for healthier ones in other relationships, not with that person that wasn't for you in the first place. And I say, when you shut that door, shut that door. Don't keep them as a friend. They didn't mean well for you. Any player from Manila, I know what I'm talking about. I just forgot the words. Don't laugh at me. but you know what I'm talking about. Those players always know the game, and they keep it in every relationship because they don't want a commitment. They're not looking for commitments. They're looking to play games on people, waste your time, take your resources, your energies. And there's someone out there that's probably interested in you and want you to treat you right, fulfill your dreams, and all of the good things we always think about in relationships. Think about that when you're looking into dating. If someone's interested in you, please take these lists seriously, because there are a lot out there that aren't here for commitment. Ask if they're here for commitment, or if you want a commitment, let them know. If you don't, let them know. But no game playing. That's for little girls and little boys. Ooh, excuse me. And like I said, Refusing to participate, walking away from unhealthy dynamics makes room for healthy ones. So refuse to participate in their game plan. All right. And I have the last one here as don't ignore your gut. Red flags, all red flags, please. If you feel confused about something, then it's most likely right. Drained and constantly uncertain, most likely the reason is your gut feelings. Use it as a signal. Definitely use it as a signal or a red flag. Respect those feelings because they're real. We call that intuition. Most women have it, some don't, or they choose to blind it. Men, you're going to learn, excuse me, you're going to learn that too. If your gut feeling, that's called intuition. You have it as well. Um, Confusion is often a lack of clarity or a sign of manipulation. When the relationship seems confused, it's a lack of clarity and most likely a sign of manipulation. So this is what players do. They manipulate everything that they're in to have you believing in them, and so they can secure and reel you in as a potential. And believe me, you're not the only one. So usually players aren't in a one committed side relationship. One-sided, it's one-sided. It's not a duel. It's not between you and them. It's not bilateral, it's unilateral, I should say. It's about them. So the bottom line here is by avoiding these game players, you are setting clear standards of self-trust and strong boundaries for yourself, which is really important. When you notice patterns, inconsistency, or manipulation, the best move isn't to play better, but to step back and invest your time in someone who values you with clarity and respect and knows your self-worth. Oh, I should say, and know your worth, right? Because that's important. When we talk about know your worth, we talk about self-worth, self-love, and self-care, which are incredibly essential to the process of healing, because we get played by a lot of people in our lives, and the healing process is needed in order to move forward in life. Most people can't do that. Well, some people, I should say, and some can. For those that can't, the what I have to say to you is learn how to love yourself first and foremost, because you're the one that truly loves yourself. If you can't love yourself, you cannot love other people. So it is essential in the process of healing to have self-worth, self-love, and self-care. And also with that, and recognizing players who waste your time, if you allow it, and energy and resources as well. Um, this is how you stop them from doing it, by loving yourself enough that you will see them for who they are. Okay, you have to see them for who they are before taking that step to a serious commitment with a game player. You don't want a commitment with a game player. Game players aren't worth committing to. Don't forget that. And I hope you all know for a fact that once you get involved with one and you learn the lesson, don't do it again. If this video gets to you later than and you've been through that game already, well, now you know how to not get back into it. First, take the time out for yourself. Love yourselves. Put more self into put more, how do you say, time into yourself. Okay, go to a library, read a book, do meditations. I love reading, so basically that helps me. Read up on books that make you the person you want to be if you can't figure it out, or just whatever it is that you need to do. But take care of you first and foremost. That's the only way you'll be able to take care of others and love others as you want to be loved. So whew, that's the series 1 of the game players, as we stated in the beginning. Series 1 of the games people play. I will have series 2 next Saturday at 3 o'clock. Join me there. And I'm going to try to go live, but I think I have an event. So I'll let you know ahead whether I'll be live or not on YouTube. You can check that out. And on IAAH Radio with the best DJs and the best music in town with CEO DJ 5 a.m. Thank you. All the DJs, thank you. And we love the music there and the talk radio as well, which I'm on every Saturday at 3. Thank you, YouTube. My YouTubers, followers, subscribers, I think they're called here. I have social media. You can check me out on all social media, Judge Desire for Knowledge. And that's that. I will be uploading my events. It's just that I've been so tired trying to enjoy life. So, with that being said, I hope you have a great weekend and it all works out for you. Stay healthy, strong, stay loved. Most of all, love yourself. And this way, you'll know when the right person comes and you won't give your good love to someone else because it doesn't belong to that player from the Manila yet. Did I say it right this time? No, I didn't. I'll get it for next one. But my next series is series 2. I can't tell you what the topic is, but it's going to be hot like this one. If you like this, and like, share, and subscribe. And I will definitely check that out on my description box to see who really enjoyed these series because the next one is going to be harder than this one. So, with that being said, I want to wish you all a great weekend. I'm about to head out now. And thank you for watching here on Know Your Truth Real Talk with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge, bringing you the truth and nothing but the truth is now adjourned. I will see my lovelies next week. Mi amores, thank you. Thank you for your time. IAAH Radio, thank you for listening. See you then. Ciao.